Okay, along with your practice papers, moving further, we do have a little bit of exploded views that you also need to understand. So let's say you have a box and you have suddenly exploded the whole thing. If you have seen the movie Iron Man again, you will be able to see how products are exploded in AI or CG, which is computer graphics. So here, for example, what happens is that even though I have shown it to you in terms of how the whole piece explodes, I haven't really explained to you what fits how. So what you will have to keep in mind, or what you will have to ensure when you do, and when you're showing exploded view, is you will have to also explain how this line or this edge connects to that edge. You will also have to show how this edge connects over here, how that corner goes and sits in that corner, and similarly how this sits over here. Same thing will also need to be ensured over there, how this touches there, that you can't really figure. This also you can't really figure that much, but you could figure a little bit of this. Yeah, same concept will follow over there. However, here you will have to draw it only till there, and then maybe you can show a little bit till there, because that piece, only this part or this corner will touch that corner. That corner will actually go inside, and because this has a thickness, it'll go to the other side. So you can choose to show that, or you can just simply choose to show till where these pieces connect to each other, so that anybody who's trying to read this question now understands where it is going to come and connect to. So this part will come here, however that part may come somewhere there, because that is how you'll end up seeing it. And similarly, there'll be something over here, but you can't see, so you don't have to draw for now. But this only shows how the four walls come in contact to each other. What happens to these two things? So for that, what you will have to do is that you will take a scale, and I think I've drawn this in perspective, which is why it's narrowing down. So you will have to be a little mindful of that, because actually when you recreate these shapes in a 3D software, you can choose to do that by doing it in isometric. So here what will happen is that technically, if you look, this edge will come and sit on that corner, which means this should also run similar over here. Now, because these have been expanded, you can't really figure out how far this is, and therefore how this line should go. Now, if I was to go by what is drawn, then this would say I need to do that. But if I do that, then these two are not running parallel, which means they will end up going like that, which means this piece will have to be made even wider. So that is something that needs to be kept in mind. Similarly, if you look, this corner is connecting to that corner, to that edge. However, when I extend this further, it's not connecting to that top piece, which means technically that should also be here. So these are certain things that you will have to keep in mind, which is why I have written lines over here, so that when you draw these lines, you can actually see whether these pieces have shifted or they need to be brought back into the right area or not. But sometimes it is also possible that you will notice that you have so many pieces over here and so little space that you can't really fit them in the same either as a vertical flow or a horizontal flow. Then what do you do? So we will also look at what happens in such cases. But for now, I have an exploded view over here for you. So they have given you a caster wheel. They've given you a part of the drawing which is over here. And they have said that, okay, the first thing we will do is we will remove this bolt. Okay. So that bolt probably, as you can see, the center line goes and fits over here. Now we have removed it. But that's not the only thing that gets removed. Actually, this piece can also come out and that piece can also come out. and then this cover can come out and those two wheels will also separate. So there are quite a few pieces that come out. So actually what happens is this is the last piece that's fitting over here. Therefore, when you take it out, it's the piece that goes at the topmost. Then will be that piece, then will be this piece, and so on and so forth. So they all need to be shown together. You cannot show just one piece coming out. So as you can notice over here, it says 7 and 6, but 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are missing. So those also need to be shown, which means all of this will move up and then the rest of it will expand this way. So some pieces will move up, some pieces will move on a different plane. That means that they may not fit over here. So an example of that is a question that I have taken forward from one of the older papers of design and technology. It looks something like this. It is a caster wheel in the end. It has a swivel on the top which fits over here. It has a pin that rests between those two holes. However, before it rests over there, you need to insert this wheel inside and then you plug it into place. So that's the hole which is for this shaft, and only after placing them together. So you can't really have it like this. This piece should have technically been shown over here to say that it is going to fit in over here. And then this piece should have been shown either over here or closer so that a person knows that it goes in, and only then the shaft comes into place. Moving ahead, if you look at this swivel, one option could have been that we could have made it over here to help a person understand that, okay, this swivel fits in over here. However, due to space constraint, as you can see, what I've done is I've drawn it over here. Now to explain to you that this piece fits over here, I have also shown a center line that explains to the user or the viewer that if this was the piece, it needs to be taken in the same orientation and plugged in over there. So this line helps, which means that if I go back here, let's say I'm taking out this pin and that bolt as well, or that nut, sorry. So I take out this screw and that nut as well, which means that this piece would have come somewhere over here. Then that piece could have been unplugged. So if I follow that center line itself, I would have had to draw the center line forward, something like this. And then I bring it further down. So same as I showed you in the caster wheel previously. And then it comes back up and it comes over here, which means now you are saying that this center line follows through to whatever is above it, which means above this could actually be that piece over here. So the nut comes here, then this part of the bolt comes, then another nut comes, then maybe this whole piece comes up. So similarly, so this is how you work with it. This is a question again that I have for you. You can try it out on a separate A3 or an A4 paper. You can take a screenshot of it as well. So go right ahead. The question is about you assembling the whole thing and then looking at it from different angles of projection.